What's happening, PumpTalk Nation? Get ready to dive headfirst into a whirlwind of the most critical updates shaping our world right now. The news cycle is moving at lightning speed, and you need to be in the know. We've got stories that demand your attention, from urgent humanitarian pleas to seismic shifts in global media and surprising cultural celebrations. Buckle up, because you're about to get the inside track on what truly matters. Don't miss a second of this, it's going to be massive. First up, a powerful call is echoing from a region facing immense hardship, where a leading aid agency is desperately trying to cut through the noise and bring a critical humanitarian crisis to the forefront of global consciousness. They're emphasizing the stark reality on the ground and the urgent need for widespread media coverage to amplify the voices of those suffering in silence. We'll get into the details of what's happening and why it's being called one of the worst humanitarian situations in the world. Then, we're shifting gears to a significant shakeup within international broadcasting. A major media network, known for its global reach, is facing unprecedented staffing cuts despite a recent court ruling. We'll explore the implications of these massive layoffs, the reasons cited for the drastic changes, and what this means for the future of news dissemination in critical regions around the globe. We're also celebrating a magical reunion as legendary voices from beloved animated classics come together for an unforgettable performance at a world-famous theme park. Get ready for a dose of pure enchantment as these iconic talents share the stage. And finally, we're dissecting a bold diplomatic proposal suggesting a major international shift in how nations engage with a key global player amidst ongoing conflict and humanitarian concerns. Stay locked in for all the essential details, and make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join the PumpTalk family. A silent crisis demands a global roar. The world is facing a severe humanitarian crisis in Sudan's northern Darfur region, yet it remains tragically underreported on the global stage. Agnes Aney and Zoe Romanowski report that Catholic aid agencies are struggling to reach desperate populations and are making an urgent plea for increased media attention. Telly Sadia, the country representative for Sudan for the Catholic Agency for Overseas Development (CAFOD, has voiced his frustration, stating, "This is one of the biggest humanitarian situations in the world, which, unfortunately, has not received much international press." Sadia's message to the media is clear. Sudan needs a voice. I look forward to the day when the world will be made aware of what is actually happening in this country. This sentiment is echoed by Christine Allen, the executive director of CAFOD, who found it almost impossible to gain media or political traction for Sudan in the UK. The situation on the ground is dire, exacerbated by 2 years of heavy fighting between the Rapid Support Forces and the Sudanese armed forces. This conflict has led to widespread loss of life, destruction of infrastructure, and severe food shortages, with reports of people resorting to eating leaves in some areas. Accessibility to affected regions like Darfur and Kordofan remains a significant challenge, hindering the delivery of essential aid, including water and medicine. Many have lost their lives due to untreated injuries and lack of medical care. The agency is actively seeking innovative ways to provide assistance to those trapped by the conflict and displacement. This harrowing account highlights the critical need for awareness. But what happens when powerful media voices are silenced? We're turning our attention to a major upheaval in global broadcasting next. Broadcasting under siege, VOA faces massive cuts. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the international media landscape, the Trump administration has initiated the layoff of over 500 employees at the Voice of America, VOA, a vital U.S. government-funded global news network. This action follows a contentious legal battle, as VOA's operations were previously ordered to be restored by Judge Royce C. Lamberth of the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia. Despite the court's mandate in April, Kari Lake, the acting chief executive of VOA's oversight agency, announced on social media that 532 government positions have been eliminated. This decision dramatically curtails the network's extensive reach, which previously broadcast news in 49 languages to 360 million people weekly, including audiences in Russia and China. Now, VOA's programming is significantly reduced, airing in only 4 languages: Persian, Mandarin, Dari, and Pashto. Lake defended the layoffs, stating they will likely improve the agency's ability to function and provide the truth to people across the world who live under murderous communist governments and other tyrannical regimes. Prior to these latest cuts, a substantial portion of VOA's 1,300 journalists had already been dismissed or placed on paid leave, leaving only about 100 staff members. Judge Lamberth, after being alerted by remaining employees that the administration might be non-compliant with his earlier ruling, ordered Lake to provide sworn testimony and threatened contempt charges for defying court orders. He had also taken steps to block the administration from firing VOA Director Michael Abramovitz just before the announcement of these extensive layoffs. The situation raises serious questions about the future of independent global news dissemination and the administration's stance on press freedom in authoritarian states. These dramatic changes at VOA underscore the complex political pressures on global media. Now, let's shift to a scene of pure joy and celebration with a magical performance that's capturing hearts worldwide. A royal gathering, Disney princess voices shine at Disneyland. In a spectacular celebration of World Princess Week and the 70th anniversary of Disneyland, Disney has unveiled an enchanting concert featuring the iconic voices of beloved Disney princesses. Titled Disney Princess Concert, celebrating 70 years of Disneyland. This special performance was filmed in front of the magical Sleeping Beauty Castle at the Disneyland Resort and is now available on YouTube and Disney+. The concert brings together legendary actresses who have lent their voices to these cherished characters, offering fans a nostalgic and heartwarming experience. They perform a medley of unforgettable songs from classic Disney princess films, reminding audiences of the enduring magic and inspirational messages these characters represent. Hosts Ginnifer Goodwin, known for her roles as Judy Hopps in Zootopia and Snow White in Once Upon a Time, and Susan Egan, the original Broadway voice of Belle from Beauty and the Beast, guided viewers through the magical event. They shared reflections on the profound legacy of Disney princesses and their timeless connection with generations of fans, emphasizing the power within each person to create their own destiny. The performance included a moving rendition of A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes, followed by individual performances from the talented voice actresses. The concert culminated in a grand finale where all the artists joined together on stage for a reprise of the iconic song, accompanied by live appearances from the princesses themselves, complete with enchanting choreography. Sleeping Beauty Castle served as a stunning backdrop, enhanced by special projections that added an extra layer of visual splendor to the live event. This concert is part of Disney's broader Create Your World campaign, a multi-year initiative aimed at empowering fans to discover their inner princess and embrace their unique strengths and potential. The availability of the concert on streaming platforms ensures that fans across the globe can relive this magical moment and be inspired by the enduring spirit of Disney storytelling. From enchanted castles to the forefront of international diplomacy, our next story delves into a controversial proposal impacting global relations. Stay with us. Diplomatic recalibration, isolating Netanyahu for global peace. A seasoned diplomat with over 4 decades of experience proposes a radical shift in international relations, advocating for states to consider severing or suspending diplomatic ties with Israel, not out of anti-Semitism, but as a strategic move towards global peace. The diplomat argues that while dialogue is usually the preferred approach, prolonged negotiations that benefit only one side can escalate conflict. The current situation in Gaza, characterized by relentless bombing, throttled aid, and widespread starvation, has crossed a critical moral and legal threshold, perpetrated by the Israeli government under Benjamin Netanyahu. This grim assessment is shared by 14 of the 15 members of the UN Security Council, who issued a joint statement condemning the man-made famine in Gaza and demanding an immediate, unconditional ceasefire, the release of all hostages, and unimpeded humanitarian access. UN reports indicate a devastating Palestinian death toll of approximately 62,895 since October 7, 2023, with over 158,927 injured, though Israel disputes these figures. The UN-backed Integrated Food Security Phase Classification, IPC, has declared a famine in Gaza City, warning of its potential spread, a conclusion supported by the World Health Organization and UNICEF, who report over 500,000 people already facing famine conditions. The UN Secretary-General has starkly stated, people are starving, children are dying, and those with the duty to act are failing. While acknowledging Hamas as a terrorist organization responsible for heinous crimes, the diplomat emphasizes that Israel, as a state, has different obligations. The Israeli government's response is described as not merely disproportionate but inhumane, potentially aimed at preventing a viable Palestinian state, with Economy Minister Nur Barkat explicitly stating, "A Palestinian state will not be established, under no circumstances." Several nations have already taken action, including severing or downgrading diplomatic relations with Israel. South Africa has brought its case to the International Court of Justice, ICJ, seeking provisional measures to protect civilians in Gaza. The proposed action, termed retortion in international law, involves lawful measures that do not breach international obligations, allowing states to withdraw consent for diplomatic ties. This measure, the diplomat stresses, is not anti-Semitic, but a principled stand against a government's conduct, upholding the rights of all peoples, including Israelis and Palestinians. The proposal calls for concrete consequences, such as suspending diplomatic relations, to be coupled with the recognition of Palestine as a state, signaling that wrongful actions have repercussions. This call for diplomatic action underscores the gravity of the situation. Now, let's wrap up with a quick recap of all today's top stories. And that's a wrap on today's crucial updates. We heard the urgent plea for attention to the humanitarian crisis in Sudan, witnessed the dramatic cuts at Voice of America, got enchanted by the legendary Disney princess voices, and analyzed a bold proposal for international diplomatic action. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this information valuable, subscribe for more in-depth news, ring that notification bell so you never miss an update, drop a comment with your thoughts on these stories, and follow us on all our social channels to stay connected. We'll see you next time.